Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go. I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used, and 8-5, this is 7 November, Charlie. 8-5 right now. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, reference to your last, you're Brandon 158 extra 5 5 1200 between teams, local. Also request 3 units take outbound Nexus to see if we can try to get 59 and 8 for pause at the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf. My unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha Alpha in there. One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Hey, I never took a dip. I forgot to take a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. This is Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. This is Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go.
All right, sweet. We're live. Definitely random. You might hear some baby noises or some cocoa melon or see a little head pop up every now and then. I need to grab that. No, not those, baby. You play with those. Play with those. No. I am a big Resident Evil fan, and so these are my OG Resident Evil Survivor 1, 2, 3 Nemesis. I mean, I can't let her get these, you know. Anyways, back to answering VA disability questions. Okay, we'll start up at the top with Soul Moon. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a moderator. I appreciate that. This stream's not going to have a member only deal. We did that yesterday, had a ton of members, so now I feel like I owe it to the non-members. John, what's up? How's it going? Texas in the house. Sure, great football team. Will Martin, thank you for being a member. John Sullivan, thank you for being a member from London Heathrow. Oh, yep, you're on your way to Israel. Take care, dude. Wishing you and your brother the best. Outlaw, what's up? How's it going? Pin message, don't forget that. Clay, about to make my head explode. I'll try. If there's no questions, there's no stream. Keep that in mind. Patrick Jones, how's it going? Jenny, what's up? Thanks, Clay, for all you do. Veteran 82nd, 2ID, and 10th Mountain. Awesome. You are a good brother. You're a good dad, brother. Thanks, appreciate it. Clay, where do I find an intermediate course for ratings, etc.? Yes, let me make my screen bigger because this is kind of difficult to read. Have a monitor behind my camera, and that's how I do this. Okay, disability course. I have to share my screen, and I will show it to you. You can download it. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And we like that one. Okay, disability course. You got to go to TheCivDivOnline.com, world's best mediocre website right here. If it loads, please load. Okay. You go to VA claim courses up at the top. You can do this on your phone too. I think someone's taking a poop. Okay. I'll have to deal with that. And then here we go. And so it says view products, but they're free. Here's the basic. Right below that is their intermediate. There you go. It's going to give you, boom. And so you can download that. Just like that. So CivDivOnline.com, go to VA claim courses, and that's where you can find that. Okay. Thank you for asking, though. A lot of time goes into those. The basic course actually just came from KCOM, 352nd Civil Affairs Command up at Fort Meade, and gave that class. Do you ever do one-on-ones for BDD claims? I don't really do that many one-on-ones right now. If I ever quit my job and do YouTube full-time, I'm going to do a daily like live show, kind of like how Dave Ramsey does, just a smaller scale, and be able to do like call-ins and stuff like that. But for BDD claims, dude, you don't need a one-on-one. I promise you don't need a one-on-one, okay? What you need to do, go back to this mediocre website here. You click more, BDD claims, active duty, and this is all you need. Don't overcomplicate the process. Steps 1 and 2 are basically what you need to do. You need to figure out what you want to claim. To help you figure out what you want to claim, you can look at this right here. I want you to think head to toe. And then there's a little spreadsheet that you can use to kind of outline your evidence. For BDD claims, you don't need to focus on anything else outside the current diagnosis. The in-service events, and this is explained in the video, will help support that. But really, the current diagnosis for BDD claims is clutch there. All right. You big meaty. Yeah, I know. Got to protect my stuff. What does it mean when they combine the benefits for rating? Yeah, it just means those disabilities, those conditions share the same rating. And so the VA rates symptoms. They always have. And they they VA rate symptoms, not diagnosis, right? The best example of this to show is actually mental health. Here, I'm going to teach y'all something. I do this all the time. I'm going to Gunny Google right here. Register to vote if you hate your life. Okay, so mental health, 38 CFR. This works for any disability, not just mental health. Click the ECFR link. Bam. Do you see all these conditions right here? Every single one of these are rated under this general rating for mental disorders. You'll find that with the back, like the middle and lower spine will share. So you can have 3 diagnoses in your back. You're going to get one rating, probably based on range of motion, unless you fall into that incapacitating episode. That's all it means. There's nothing you can do to separate those. This is VA doing VA stuff. Get my mouse back. Okay. B-Buck, hey, what's up? How's it going? Kellyanne gifted 5 CivDiv memberships. Thank you. I don't know what that really means, to be honest with you. I assume you get to choose 5 people that you want to be a member. If you are a member, make sure you download Discord. Join the Discord. We have fun in there. Even if you're a member for 1 month because of Kellyanne, you can get a lot of questions answered. All right, Evan Almighty, what's up? Thank you for being a member. Appreciate that. Just had CMP for anxiety. I hope that went well. I know you already went to yours. This is mainly for other people. If you're wondering what a mental health CMP exam looks like, it's going to look something. It's going to look exactly like this. Once, for some reason, my internet is just going really slow. Okay, it's one of the first videos I ever made, so we're going to have to What is going on? The internet's. I don't think my kids unplugged anything. If you can hear Coco Melon in the background, let me know because I'll turn it down. But it is bumping right now. Oh my goodness. You know what? I know what would be faster because the internet, for some reason, is kicking my booty. You can also click disabilities. I'm going to learn more. Yes, something's wrong with my stuff here, and I don't like that. All right, let me post this in the chat. Get that over with. Try to avoid searching YouTube's. Okay. I have learned a lot from this channel. My denial letter states my PTSD was denied due to no diagnosis. So you got to get the DX. I found a medical diagnosis in 2015 for PTSD. So for PTSD, the easiest way to explain it is the VA needs to confirm that diagnosis. So you're going to have to get that through the VA. You can do, I have been getting treatment, so I show continuity of care. I don't know if you were just denied. It seems like you were just denied. If you were just denied, I would do a higher level review. If not, I would be surprised if the VA missed continuity of care and your diagnosis unless it came from private. If you went through the private insurance route, you can use that evidence for supplemental claim. Easy peasy. If that's the case, which I hope it is, because I would be surprised if the VA missed all of that. That's not acute because the VA didn't have that evidence. Right. Teet, longtime fan of the channel. What's up? Welcome back. Good to see you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Just got denied allergic rhinitis on HLR. They copied and pasted the original denial. I had the current diagnosis and the in-service event. Next step. Next step is I would want to see that decision letter, to be honest with you, and really the rationale used for that. I'm wondering, there's also a possibility of like an untrained adjudicator, like a VSR who's rating claims, just completely dismissed regular direct service connection and went straight for PACT Act. And I assume you didn't have that. And so maybe that's the case, maybe, but I would really like to see that decision letter and the CMP examiner rationale that's hopefully included in that decision letter. Hit the thumbs up. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that, Outlaw. Thank you for being a member. Same to you, Ricky. I was told that the rater will not read my detailed. I didn't realize I had those. I'll smooth that over so I can see. I was told the rater will not read my detailed 5-page Nexus from my doctor. Is this true from talking to people in the know? It's not necessarily true. Sorry, look at my kids. That's not true, okay? If you're talking about a DBQ that wasn't done in person and it's for like a musculoskeletal condition, then yes, that's true. You're talking about a Nexus letter in support of your claim. That's evidence, and they're going to read that, okay? They're going to look at that. Depending on what that claim is for and how well structured or how good, and that's a generalization, how good that Nexus letter is will depend or not if you get a CMP exam. And then, of course, there's always the notorious VA scheduling unwarranted CMP exams, which is probably most likely anyways, which is one of many reasons I really recommend veterans to not even look or think about a Nexus letter until they're facing appeals. But if you have a Nexus, submit it with your claim. There's no reason you would not do that. If you haven't paid for it yet and you haven't been denied, I recommend it's of my opinion that veterans should not submit Nexus letters with the initial claims. My daughter just put all my Resident Evil games into a trash can. Okay, let me start this. Rebecca, we're on you. I totally missed these two. Oh, got Killian's and Correa 99. Thank you. Appreciate that. How likely is it that I can be reduced by filing a high-level review to challenge the effective date? Not likely at all, unless there's a mistake that happened. Okay, which is possible. Unless there is a mistake that happened, then you're just looking at the effective date. Okay, as long as no mistakes took place and no one made an error, you're good. In most cases, veterans should do an HLR for the effective date. I'll tell you that much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, okay. Awesome. Advertisements interrupting my live stream viewing. Yeah, YouTube's gonna, believe it or not, and I know people are going to not believe me. That's fine. YouTube ad revenue is not, they don't really pay the best. So, here's what it is. Okay, if the VA pyramid's used, can they take it back? I don't really understand that question, to be honest with you. Rated 80 for nerve pain in each leg, 40 sciatic, 20, 20, 10, 10, or 40, 20, 10, 10. Scared they will find out what they did. No, so that's not what pyramiding is. So in the legs, you can have up to 5 different nerve damage rated disabilities in your legs. In your arms, you can have up to 2. That's 1 per. So that's in line. It's very common to see like femoral nerve damage and sciatica. I'm not too familiar with whatever that says, but it doesn't seem like anything wrong there. I'm in the process of putting in a supplemental claim on my own due to the current backlog with VSOs in my area. Does it hurt or help if I include lay statement with these supplemental claims? Depends on what the statement is, okay? The statements, in my opinion, support the medical evidence that's already there, or they can help recall an event that happened. They are not. I don't care what anyone else on YouTube says. Lila, don't do that, please. I don't care what anyone else says. Statements are not evidence in lieu of medical evidence. That's a no-go. So as long as it's not that, and you're not saying this veteran's sleep apnea is connected to PTSD, because that requires a medical opinion, not a statement, then sure, right? But statements aren't going to be what wins your claim. I promise. Why is it not? Hold on, dude, because this is being dumb. I see it. There you go. Thank you for joining as a member. I appreciate that. I hope I answered your question. I need to get back to where we were at. Okay, there's got to be a better way to do this. Just had a CMP exam for anxiety. I think it went well. We answered that one. Do not have it in my... I think that's your medical service record. I'm not sure. Have been on meds for 5 years in my VA medical records. Do you think I have a chance of getting a rating? Okay. So you had a CMP exam. I'm going to assume you have a diagnosis. No diagnosis, no claim. So I'm assuming you have a diagnosis. The issue is the in-service event. You've been on medication for 5 years and your VA medical records, the diagnosis is there. That's fine. What's the cause of the anxiety? How long have you been out of service? I have a billion questions to answer before I can answer the likelihood of you being service connected. But if something from service caused your anxiety and you can prove it via medical records, which would be beautiful, or evidence other than medical, and that gets a little bit wonky sometimes, then I would say very likely. If not, and you've been out for a long time, Not likely. Did the BDD process? Oh, you did the BDD process, got 100%. Awesome. Now I have more anxiety because of it. That sucks. What's the best way to get used to being compensated from the VA? Dude, that is such a good question. I don't think I have a answer for that. I'll give you my answer. It's definitely not the answer. I need to skip this ad for Coco Melon or my daughter will get a little antsy. You know, dude, really, I would recommend you keep it to yourself. I'm saying that as a YouTuber, where everyone knows my business. Definitely keep it to yourself. How do you deal with being compensated from the VA? I can tell you how I look at VeteranAI, and I don't know if this is the right answer, but I look at it as getting my taxes back, right? You paid taxes your whole life. You paid taxes while you were in service for however many years. I'm going to assume you still work today, like I still work full-time today, and you're essentially just getting your taxes back. So you're paying your taxes, then you're just coming right back. That's how I look at it. I'm not a fan of taxes, though. Food for thought. Take that at face value. But yeah, man, that's such a good question. Really is. All right, Terry Klein, thank you very much. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Back it up, Terry. Okay. Do duty to assist errors usually end up in the veteran's favor? It depends what the error is for in the first place. Generally speaking, they're neither good or bad, right? A DTA error could be a TERA exam, right? Saying, hey, we were supposed to do a TERA exam, or hey, we were supposed to do this in the process. They don't really mean favorable or unfavorable. All right. If you're wondering why I'm looking over here, I got my two of my four. Make sure they don't do anything really dumb. Difference between GERD rating prior to May 19th and after May 19th. Yeah, absolutely. Easy. So first, GERD was rated on a bunch of symptoms prior at 60%. Okay. So you had 10, 30, 60. I believe that was the highest one. Now you have GERD rated on these symptoms, which is esophageal stricture and dysphagia, right? So the closing of your throat. Don't do that. You're just going to hurt. Closing of your throat. And so now the new rating criteria is more strict. That's a pun there. It's more strict because it's following esophageal stricture versus hyoidal hernia, which is just rating all these symptoms. And so if you have esophageal stricture, then the new rating schedule is probably more favorable. If you don't, it's probably not. However, there's also IBS. And so in the old rating schedule, IBS is connected with GERD. Okay. And you can't double dip where GERD's its own, or IBS is its own, but you're rated on GERD of the old schedule. It's old or new. And old has them together. New has these separate. So if you have IBS at 30 and let's say GERD at 10, it would be favorable to have a separate 10 and 30 on the new schedule, assuming you would rate 10 for GERD on the new schedule, right? So it's very dependent on the veteran. It's very, very specific. Just depends. It's very situational is what I want to say. All right, Korea, thanks for answering my question. Any thoughts on Project 2025? You know, if you did not donate, I definitely would skip over. This is a question I would just not click. So Project 2025, right? Heritage Foundation. Full disclosure, I don't vote. I really genuinely don't give a baloney about any of that. But P25 is a think tank that when it comes to veteran benefits, so disability and healthcare, essentially, according to Project 2025, which is not Trump. It's P25 and Heritage Foundation. Okay. According to that doctrine, we'll say the P25 doctrine, you have veteran disability that is more stringent to obtain when it comes to conditions that are not wholly related to service. For instance, right now we have at least as likely as not, which is like 50-50. Okay. If that were to go through, it would be like more likely than not would be the required burden of proof. That's one way to frame it. Okay. According to their VBA policy, the VHA policy is looking at privatizing the VA, and depending on who you are, you may prefer the VA to be privatized. You may not. If you like community care, that's private VA. Think about it like that, okay? So it definitely depends on who you are. Yeah, I hope I answered that one, at least to the best of my ability. All right, Fragrance Man. Can you explain how it would... Thank you, though, for asking that beautiful question. I appreciate that. Can you explain how it would work being rated with 3 different mental health codes? Would work. Example, MDD, PTSD, and chronic pain. Yeah, all the same. All the same. So your chronic pain can stem from elsewhere. It's not always mental health, right? Chronic pain is a rated disability. It can be rated under your back, your knees, not just mental health. That is one of them, though. Unexplained physical pain. Okay, that's an paraphrase understatement. But assuming all these are roped together, it will just share one rating, right? So you'll see, PTSD with somatic disorder with alcohol substance abuse, all one rating. The alcohol is like that intermediate step there. All one rating. It has 0 indications to the percentage of that rating. So 10, 30, 50, 70, or 100. You can have 10 diagnoses and be 30%. You can have 1 diagnosis and be at 70%. Okay. So the VA rates symptoms, not the diagnosis. But yes, those will all be roped together, except for eating disorders and basically the rest of mental health. TBI will start to be roped into mental health right at that 70% range, because that's where you start looking at like memory loss and a few others. Actually, we'll go ahead and let me pull it up for you so you can see what I'm talking about. I should have done this anyways. And I just what a dummy. Okay, let me pull it back up. What a big dummy I am. Big old dum-dum. Amateur hour over here. Okay. We'll go back to Gunny Google. Don't forget to register to vote according to our Gunny Google friend over here. Mental health, 38 CFR, eCFR. Looking at these ratings. And so looking at 70%, you see judgment, thinking, suicidal ideations, obsessive rituals, speech intermittent, illogical. That could be from head trauma, right? That TBI symptom. Impaired impulse control, maybe. Spatial disorientation. Neglected personal hygiene, difficulty in adapting, inability to establish, maintain effective relationships. So you can have all those that I just highlighted and be rated anywhere on this scale. It depends on what your symptoms are. And so for mental health, let me zoom in so you can actually see what I'm looking at. You can see, you see this little semicolon here? It has it for each scale. And so after that semicolon are going to be your symptoms, almost listed out in plain language. And looking at the DBQ, because we're there, we'll just go really, really deep on this question. It is important, so that's not an issue. Looking at the DBQ for mental health, you'll see those symptoms in a easy to read manner, right? So here's the DBQ for mental health. Let me zoom in. Boom. Scrolling down. I'm not going to go over DBQs right now. That's a whole video in itself. What I want to show you, that's the correlated percentage you're going to be rated at, is this symptom box, because it's easily readable. Right here, right? Depressed mood, anxiety, suspiciousness, panic attacks. There's frequency with that. Impairment, mild memory loss. And so depending on what's being checked and your occupational and social impairment, which is this section up here, occupational and social impairment, that is how the VA rates you. So these two are generally going to be your, that's 30. This is going to be 30/50. That's going to be your 50. That's going to be your 70. And obviously that will be your 100, right? Okay. Hard-headed. Okay, we have a few donations. Thank you very much. You don't have to donate. I will answer your questions in order. I appreciate that. OJ, thank you for being a member. Clay, you rock. Thanks for supporting the veteran community. Thank you. And thanks for coming out to the claim clinic, dude. It was cool to meet everybody. Do you know what the process is like for chronic fatigue syndrome? Yeah, it's a lot of ruling out. It sucks. If you're looking at the presumptive, it's under MUCMI, medically unexplained, which is just difficult in itself. Does something like this have a specialist since there's no real specific treatment cure for it? Yeah, so those claims are going to have your remember those critical skill incentive bonuses? Critical skills incentive bonuses that was flying around that worked out so well. That would be a critical skill incentive. Okay. Now you did donate. I don't want to leave you with that shallow of an answer. What I want to do is VA presumptive conditions. I hope I can find it easier. That's exactly what I need right here. Bam. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This is your one-stop shop for presumptives, not just PACT Act. It's got Vietnam, Atomic, right? It's got everything in here. Scrolling down, you will see the PACT Act. Here it is. Gulf 4 and post 9/11. And then you'll see medically unexplained chronic multi-symptom illnesses, MUCMI, and right under there is chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, there's some M21 guidance on that. That I'm not going to show you because that's a rabbit hole. But that's what I was talking about, right? So can it be presumptive? Yes, it can. Is it difficult? It's definitely not your traditional presumptive. It's an MUCMI, which is fairly complicated. And I know the VA would never share information that's not complicated. I understand that's a little weird. For some reason, dude, my MUCMI, TheCivDiv. Let's see if this comes up. That's what I needed. Man, I am on it today. Okay. I'm going to send you this video. It'll explain it a little more in depth. It's a lot of ruling out. Okay. Thank you. Is chronic anxiety and chronic PTSD static? Conditions themselves are not static. Chronic, meaning you've had it for 1 year. That is how you secure your static conditions. I just did a video on that, actually. That's the power of having a chronic diagnosis submitted with your claim, is you, in a sense, not doctrine, just in a sense, helps you secure that static rating because that condition is chronic, hence the chronic diagnosis. That's also required for service connection anyways. You can check that out. Okay, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. My other daughter's FaceTiming me. Give me a... Oh, she just hung up. All right. Okay, let's get back to answering some questions here. I got 4 kids, dude. I'm tired. I believe it's random. Oh, okay. Awesome. Because you gifted 5 subs. Got it. Thank you for that, Kellyanne. I appreciate it. All right. I have 70% service connection rating and have been awarded IU. My question is there any reason to try to raise my rating to 100? So this question comes way more often than you think. My advice to anyone who's IU is this, okay? It's not, should I try to get my rating to 100? You're already at 100, but you can't work. You genuinely cannot work. If you think your condition is going to improve to where you can work, and it's not, your IU's not going to turn into PNT, you need to be gathering evidence, as much evidence as you can to be properly rated. Okay, submit those evidence-based claims and be properly rated. If you generally can't work and you think your condition is going to get worse and your evidence is indicating it's going to get worse, then honest with you, it doesn't matter. B. Mobros, what's up? All right, I'm at 9. Okay, sorry. I'm at 93%. I have to use DAV to help get 100, but to no avail. Do you help with upgrades? No, there's no consultation there, but I can tell you what you need to do. It's the 5 steps. It's not hard. Okay, VA disability process is not hard. If you want to read M21 TAC 1, that's a different story. If you want to submit evidence-based claims, not hard. And I'm going to link a video for you too, because I'm going to briefly discuss this. This is a whole video in itself. 5-step process, VA disability, the TheCivDiv. Oh, I don't know what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Okay, 5-step process, dude. Step 1, look at increases. What are you service connected for? What can be increased? I'll show you how to do an increase here in a second. Step 2 is, as you're looking at what you're rated for, look at secondaries. I'll show you how to look at secondaries here in a second. Denials, most difficult. Okay, look at denials, look at the reason why you were denied, then combat that. It's either the in-service event and or the current diagnosis. If any of those are missing, the nexus is not there. If you have both of those and you're missing the nexus, which is not common, that's when you start really considering an independent medical opinion or talk to an accredited attorney. But if you're missing the in-service event, go find evidence for that. That's difficult. If you're missing the current diagnosis, get the diagnosis. Now, to look at increases, and this is probably the most important part of this whole stream here. If every veteran could just do what I'm about to do right now, your life will be easier. I'm going to show you the 5 steps. For increases, type in your increase. I'm going to use plantar fasciitis. You know what? I used that this morning. Flat feet, 38 CFR, ECFR. You can type in whatever disability you want up here. It's going to pop up. Not that one. You know, look at the schedule of ratings, and this is zoomed in. Let me zoom back out. I'm looking at flat feet. You can't see it right now, but I just hit Control F, and I'm typing in flat feet. Flat foot. Why is... Okay, whatever. It wasn't popping up. So boom, here's how the VA rates. Let's say you fell in 20% for unilateral, and these are your symptoms. Let's say you know it's both. That's an easy 30%. Let's say your symptoms are pronounced, marked pronation. You have that medical evidence. Unilateral is 30, bilateral is 50. The VA tells you how this is rated. Okay. Looking at something not so complicated, let's look at planars now. Ankylosis, that's a little different. Plantar fasciitis, 30, 20, 10. So if you're 10 and you know you had non-surgical treatment and it's on one foot, that's an easy 20. So look at increases for all your disabilities. Do exactly what I just did. Then you look at secondaries. Now, lucky for you, I have the world's most mediocre website ever. And this is already done for you. Okay. So you go to templates here. You can just go straight from YouTube. I just think this is easier to do. Look at all these beautiful. That also explains the 5 steps. Here's a secondary list. Okay. Somewhere in here is a template. I need to make this easier. Okay. Boom. Secondaries. Look at this. Look at this thing right here. So let's say you have hypertension. There you go. Get a diagnosis, submit the secondary, right? And get evidence that supports the secondary exists. So that's your secondaries all in one shop right there. I know someone's going to ask for that link, so let me just share it right now. And you'll find that below in the pinned comments. Then you look at denials. That's difficult. I can't really show that. That's when a one-on-one really comes into play. Or you really just use the accredited attorney. Then you look at new conditions. Is there anything from service that you could have claimed? That's step 4. Then you look at presumptives, which was that presumptive list that we just showed. That is step 5. That's it. That's how you maximize. That's how you go from whatever rating you're at to being properly rated. Okay, the VA sent me to a doctor about 3 months ago. They called me to go again for the same thing. I'm gonna assume you mean CMP exam and not healthcare. Yeah, it's commonly should not happen is the best way to say that. That's a terrible answer, but that's the answer. I was rated at 20 for my back when I retired. I recently had a CMP exam in 24 and attempted to raise my rating, and I still got 20. My back is kicking my butt. Yeah, so the pain, the back's not going to be rated based on pain, okay? It's not, unless you're in incapacitating episodes. It's rated based on range of motion. So just to show everyone that this works, back, 30 CFR, ECFR. I'll do it again. I misspelled that, whatever. Okay. Now back is a huge one. So we're about to find a lot. Let me actually type in lumbar to make it more specific. The spine. We have forward flexion. So this is you right here. Nowhere in there, and I'm going to say it like this for a reason because I want everyone to understand I'm not picking on you. Nowhere in this rating criteria does it say my back is kicking my butt. Okay. It's only range of motion. Greater than 30 degrees. I'm not going to read this whole thing, right? But greater than 30 degrees, not greater than, you get the point. Meaning, if you want the increase, you've got to hit this right here. You've got to. And there's also nerve damage. I'm assuming this is a lower spine condition, very, very common. There's also nerve damage that you can claim secondary, like radiculopathy, sciatica. Radiculopathy is a type of sciatica. There's other nerve damage like femoral, many, many, many different nerves there. I'm 0%. I don't know what that's in reference to. Did you? I see that. Is chronic anxiety, PTSD static? Yeah, it doesn't. That has 0 bearing on anything. Next Tuesday, I'm getting a second CMP exam for Gen Med. I have a primary care appointment tomorrow where I'm hoping to get 2 of my conditions diagnosed. Is it good to have a second exam? It's not good or bad. It seems like the VA made a request and it wasn't fulfilled, or the VA made a mistake and they had to order another CMP exam. But if you are getting your conditions diagnosed, 2 things. I would bring that to the exam and say, hey, I just got diagnosed with these conditions, just to double tap it. And then 2, upload those forms specifically with your claim through your VSO preferably, but you can also use Quick Submit to upload your own evidence. All right, mental health CMP exam is awful. It absolutely can be. The healthcare side of the house is just as rough. So the VA diagnosed me with chronic PTSD. Is that static? We answered that one. Thank you. No denied. 2016. Always VA. Not a question. Just want to thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I received P&T after studying your videos. Bingo. Thank you for your service and thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service. And I hope that relieves some financial stress in your life, dude. So congrats to you and yours. You ever see someone scheduled for several exams and then more exams months later? All the time. I hate it. I have had 3 exams but have heard nothing about my rhinitis and sinusitis packed act. That part's weird because presumptives are usually the first to be, because it's a gen med. There's more, generally speaking, there's probably more gen med examiners in your area than anything else. So that's weird to me, but who knows? If we become a member, does the payment come out automatically the day we join? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. I filed a secondary. Hold on. I'm going to come back to you. I think we had one more. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, I got you. I filed a secondary claim for MDD, major depressive disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. And didn't even give me a CMP exam. They just denied. Do you know why? There are many reasons why. I'm going to assume you don't have a diagnosis. That would be one of many reasons. It could also be the VA made a mistake. Okay, so you could do a higher level review to double tap that. But if you don't have a diagnosis, I would just get a diagnosis and submit a submittal claim, personally. What's the average time it takes to get a rating after CMP exam is complete? Anywhere from 2 days to 1,000 days. I'm answering it like that because no one knows. No one on the planet could ever give you an accurate timeline answer at all, ever. Good evening. What's up? PTSD and anxiety rates together or separate? They are together. Just applied for anxiety, recently approved for PTSD. Same. Same Z's. Okay, we have a donation. Thank you very much. James Green. If you get a broken hip and had an exit exam, is this a claim? Yeah. Whatever is on your exit exam as, yes, this hurts, that is the in-service event. It's a weak in-service event. Okay, a broken hip is a bit stronger. But if your first-time complaints on an exit exam, it's still an in-service event that is weak, but it's there, which is criteria for service connection. Lila. Hey, Lila. What are you doing? Let Sissy play with that. Hey. Yeah. Anyways, your exit exam is solid medical evidence, or is solid evidence, but it definitely going to be compared to your entrance exam. Okay. How do I send you my decision letter so you can review it? Yeah, you can't. Members can. I shouldn't have said it like that. Okay. What are the odds of getting headaches static? Depends if that condition is chronic. How long have you been diagnosed? How long have you been on treatment? Is the trend showing improvements? Now that you say that, I'm actually getting one right now. Hey, relax. It depends, okay? I have unusual headaches on my chronological record of medical care, trying to get a current diagnosis right now. Yeah, so let me tell you this. There are a lot of post 9/11 veterans with 50% migraines as static, a part of their P&T, right? So that indicates that's very likely to have migraines as static. All right, how do you feel about the effectiveness of lay evidence personal statements for a VA claim? I hate them. I hate how YouTube talks about statements. If anyone tells you a statement is going to win you your claim, they're an idiot. Okay, you can tell them some white guy in his basement said that. They're an absolute idiot. Statements support medical evidence. Statements cannot be used for in lieu of medical evidence. Statements can recall events or support medical evidence that's already there. Statements cannot be used for a nexus, right? So, for instance, let's say I had sleep apnea. My wife cannot write, or she can. I can submit it. It's not going to do anything. But my wife in her statement says, Clay snores. He has PTSD. He has sleep apnea. His sleep apnea is connected to his PTSD. It's like, okay, that's not a medical opinion. That's just, you just wasted your time saying that and submitting it to the VA and cluttered your claim. So it depends. I'll say this to answer your question. Obviously, I hate statements. You can tell how I'm answering this. If your statement supports the medical evidence you already have, and or the statement recalls an event that's not in your personnel records, then sure. Okay. How do you become a member? No idea. No idea at all. It should be on the channel. Should have click a little join button. Oh my goodness. I have a CPAP from outside the VA. It was awarded 100% PNT 2 years ago, which included sleep apnea secondary to rhinitis. Solid secondary sleep apnea to rhinitis. Respiratory conditions are likely to aggravate / cause other respiratory conditions. And I am surprised. I don't want to give the VA any ideas. I doubt they watch this channel. I am surprised that the sleep apnea proposal does not rope in rhinitis, sinusitis with your asthma, COPD, and sleep apnea. I'm very surprised of that. I thought they were going to do that, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Thanks for being a member, Ricky. He says, yeah, it was for a supplemental claim. I had diagnosis from CMP exam 5 months prior with DBQ, but no Nexus. Got my Nexus very well done, but they still sent me to a CMP exam. Of course, I went to exam. That's common. That's very, 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 very common. Maybe she doesn't like Resident Evil. Well, she's wrong. Okay. In my opinion, Resident Evil is the best series of video games ever. And I would put that over Final Fantasy, over Halo, definitely over Call of Duty, whatever. I'm not a big gamer, but I was a big 90s, early 2000s gamer. All right. Thank you for being a member, Rebecca. Mental health, MDD, and PTSD required to be diagnosed, followed up by. So you can be diagnosed with all of those and submit the claim. The only one that the VA is very stringent about is going to be PTSD. Your other mental health evaluations, you're going to have a CMP exam, and the examiner is going to diagnose you based on your evidence and the exam, obviously. PTSD is a little different in their specific TAC 1 guidance, M21 TAC 1 guidance on PTSD. On the claims process on PTSD, I should say. John Snape. What? Does anything show up on the VA website if they decide to reevaluate you, like in the claim section or anywhere? My mail service isn't that great. So if they decide, yeah, you're gonna get mailed. They're going to notify you via mail. You'll get the reduction, or not a reduction, which is a possibility. You'll get the routine future exam. But to be honest with you, I want to know why you're asking that, because if your claim letter within the last 5 years, 1 second. Hey, You want to be on the internet? You want to be on the internet? Okay, if your claim letter within the last 5 years doesn't state routine future exam, you're fine. All right. Lila wants to help. Yeah. Just finished first claim, 131 days from the decision. Money was 4 days later. Awesome. Congrats to you. 141 days. That's, I'd say, about average. Different about average. Thank you for joining as a member. I appreciate that. Be sure to download Discord. If you are a member, you want to download Discord. It's pretty much a... No, I need that. I need that. It's pretty much a 24/7 Q&A. This is, I need this. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You want to come up here too? Want to come up here? Look, they're matching. Okay. What's the average time it takes to get a rating after CMP exams complete? Nobody knows, big dog. Nobody knows. Rated at 90, currently 50 PTSD. I have a 2-year-old diagnosis of sleep apnea. Plan on filing secondary. Regarding Nexus letter, does this need to be written by my primary? It would be good if you can get that by your primary. So if there was a tier of Nexus letters of who to write them, it would be your primary. Your primary care is always going to win that battle, always, okay? The second is going to be like your, and that includes, I'm saying primary care, that also includes your referred care. So if you're referred to a psychiatrist that you've been seeing, that'd be great, actually. The second option is to go the private route. So your medical opinion providers. And that should be like the tier list you go to. Primary care, either VA or private insurance, and then the medical provider. Elder Cole says, my podiatrist today told me that the back can cause pes planus, flat feet. I have flat feet from when I first entered the military, so should I file? So your causation is strict. Okay, I mean it's gone. Your service did not cause your flat feet. Okay, it was a pre-existing condition prior to the military. No big deal. What you have to show is your military service or your back made your flat feet worse beyond its natural progression. So your foot condition is naturally going to decline, meaning get worse. And it's going to look like this over time. What you need to show is it looked like this. You joined the military and it went like that. Okay. Showing your service really made that decline. I don't know why you did that. Why'd you do that? I need my mouse. I'm rated 10% for my right knee, service connected. I'm going to have to go here. I'm going to give it 5 minutes and answer some member questions here, but I'm going to have to dip out because these are crazy. I'm rated 10% for my right knee, service connected. I have CPAP exam soon. For my left knee, I think the VSO filed it secondary to my right. Any advice? Yeah, you need whatever evidence you have that suggests your knee is caused by your other knee is what you need to talk about. Okay. It's just to be real with you. That's a difficult. Looking at bilateral causation is not as easy as YouTube says it is. Okay. Listen, I love YouTube, but there's a lot of people on here that they're just saying things like tinnitus will get you 100%. It's just the dumbest shit ever. Okay. The 4 being you, Clay. Your little ones are awesome. Yeah, this is 2 of my 4. I have 2 more. I'm gonna dip out. Let me answer all the member questions, of course, always. VA suggested I file for IBS after looking at another claim. Got rated 30% for IBS under the old rating, bumped me up to 90 combined. Solid. 30% for IBS is the highest it goes, so it's pretty good. I wouldn't use them. They didn't do much, and I asked for a lot of money. I don't know who you're referring to. I don't know who them is. Only post questions once, guys. Yep, I'll get to them. Don't worry. Well, not anymore, because I am leaving once I answer the member questions. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Soul Moon. Appreciate that. Okay, is there really a gunny Google? There's a gunny. Yeah, it'd be wild if someone's last name was Google and he was a gunny. Soul Moon. Okay, thank you, Soul. Appreciate that. What is the quickest way to get my rating code sheet? 3 options in order. VSO, if they'll do it. You want to go? You want to play? Yeah, go play, dude. You stinky butt. VSO, regional office, FOIA. What's the quickest way to get a CMP exam done by a third party? There is none. There is none. Oh my gosh, dude, you're heavy. Okay. Do you need an IU? I mean, you would be properly rated. Age is not supposed to play a factor in disability. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to end this stream. I'm going to answer all the member questions, don't worry. What's the best way to get service connected for aggravated flat feet being turned away? Yes, so if it's a pre-existing service connected condition, you must show evidence that your military service made that condition worse. What do you want, dude? You're not getting it. Ricky Hester. I can't go back. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Yeah, pull her hair, baby. Okay. I use the buddy statements for the ailments impact on my ability to work and take care of myself. Awesome. Solid. Just like okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Happiness, thank you. Thank you for joining. What? Go. Go somewhere. Can you work full-time without limitation 100%? Yes. As long as you're not IU, there's 0 work limitations. 0. IU, different story. Yeah, 4 is enough. I can tell you that. I'm pretty good at just tuning everything out, though, so it's not really that big of a deal. Denied for hearing loss when I retired in 2003. My VSO sent a supplemental claim for an appeal. Is it likely that will be approved 0%? No. It's likely your hearing loss will be 0%. And if you have tinnitus, it'll stay at 10 or be graded at 10. Long time fan of the show here. I remember your name. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Filed first claim, received 90. They messed up my rating for longer. HLR to 30. Will this process take longer? Yeah, probably. HLRs generally take a long time. Sorry, mistake. What's the quickest way to get a copy? Oh, a copy. Same. VSO, regional office, FOIA. That goes for anything you want within the disability claim process. I know. Thank you for moving everything. Oscar, we're at the bottom. Oh my goodness, we made it. We made it. Oh, no, we didn't. Yes, we did. We made it. Thank you for joining. If you join as a member, be sure to download Discord. Okay. My beautiful challenge coins over here. Got my medals. My favorite thing, this is the last thing I'll say and then I'm leaving. This is my favorite thing in my background. See how this is chipped? I use this in Syria to dig holes while we were moving every few days. And this is pride and joy right here, dude. Character building. Anyways, whatever. I got to go. I got kids to take care of. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for joining the channel. Live streams will happen at some point. Thank you.